Hi, it's Nancy Gabberty, functional medicine specialist, author of Healthy Living Every Day, and the host of Total Wellness Empowerment Podcast. And today is Fact-Filled Friday, and boy, there's a lot of research to share with you. I include all of these studies and research on my Facebook business page, and I also have a private Facebook page under Total Wellness Empowerment if you'd like to be a member and chat more about this. So let's get started with a quote so you can take charge of your health today. Never be bullied into silence. Never allow yourself to be made a victim. Accept no one's definition of your life. Define yourself. I empower you to take charge of your health today. So, what did we find out this week? There's a few things. We want to talk about the forever chemicals, PFAS in our water. We want to talk about a link that we are seeing for Alzheimer's. We want to talk about immune therapy for cancer and the latest research. And we want to talk about the recall and the product taken off the shelves that you may be using. So let's get right into the PFAS, because last Fact-Filled Friday I explained that PFAS is the forever chemical. We're hearing more about that because of that movie Dark Waters, but I mean, it's getting real, folks. It is getting closer and closer, and in more states within the United States. Within the week, they have found it in Orange County, California. They found it in Bergen County, New Jersey. And why is this important? Well, you may know someone that lives in those states. You may live in that state. You may be looking for a house to move in one of those states. Wherever you are thinking about moving and investing to get a home, you really should do your research and see what chemicals and what industries are in that area. Because if there is PFAS in the water, then you're going to really want to think about investing in a reverse osmosis machine for your water for the entire home and hope that it will remove that toxin. But if you go out to local restaurants, are they using tap water? If you buy from farmers market, what water are they using to grow their crops? These are the questions. It goes beyond just reading research and saying, oh wow, PFAS, the forever chemical, is in that water system. It could then be in that town. It could then be the water in hospitals, as well as schools, as well as restaurants, as well as the end product at farmers market. So whenever I see research about a new discovery about PFAS, I want to share that with you. Further, there was a school that was, I have no idea why they did this, but they built a school on landfill. And guess what was in the landfill? You know, the forever chemicals. So they put a middle school in Alabama on a landfill with these forever chemicals. That's really brilliant. Who approved that? Again, if you're moving or you live somewhere, you want to know what you and your family are exposed to. I know in my town, one of the soccer and baseball fields, underneath they had chemicals that someone approved, some carding company, to put all their plastics and tires and everything else. And then they said, don't worry, it won't affect anyone because we're going to encapsulate it with some other plastic thing. The problem is it does seep out into the air. And think about the children exposed to this. And then when there is sun and it gets heated, it's going to be released even more. What I found really interesting this week was to find out what brine is made out of. So if you are in the East Coast or anywhere where you do get snow during the winter months, and you see when they coat the roads with this white substance, it's not salt, right? It's this radioactive waste. Who knew? Oh, and they give it away for free. Isn't that generous? Now, you may be saying, well, I'm not going to be breathing it, but if your car is going over it and your tires have it inside the grooves, and then you bring that into your garage, perhaps then you are letting it enter into your house. If you walk your dog on any type of road that has this, you want to make sure you clean those pores because it's going in there, animals' pores, and then they come into your house. And if you have carpet or if you put them on your bed, you see how it just goes on and on and on. So I'm trying to make you aware of what's going on that we don't usually find in mainstream media. So that's the toxins. Then we found about the PFAS. Then we saw some research that said Roundup, and Roundup, is what Monsanto created, and then they got bought out by Bayer, so God only knows if it's going to be in our Bayer aspirin anytime soon. They said that Monsanto, this Roundup, isn't going to hurt any humans. Well, they just discovered that it's actually a cocktail when mixed with other pesticides and insecticides, and they actually found it in the umbilical cords of women who were eating non-organic foods. So there we go, to glyphosate, Monsanto, Bayer, and understanding how pregnant women should eat really healthy and organic. So now let's go into how can we get rid of cadmium. And cadmium is a toxicity. And so where is it found? Well, it's found in tobacco, so if one is smoking cigarettes, but if one isn't smoking cigarettes, it's found in rice, it's found in wheat, in cereals, in potatoes, organ meats, as well as mocha. So if you are consuming any of that, then you really want to take a daily probiotic. If you have heard me speak on any radio show or been to any conference where I'm speaking, you'll know that I'm a big fan of daily supplementation of quality probiotics, in particular Acidophilus and Bifidus. So if you go onto my blog, you'll see my favorite brands that I would recommend to anyone looking to take a probiotic. So if it can help you get rid of cadmium, it can hopefully help you get rid of other toxins. And what it does is replenish your body with beneficial bacteria. So it's something great to take if you're ever on an antibiotic. And some doctors, especially pediatricians, are recommending to take a probiotic if they recommend antibiotics. But sometimes they forget the fact to tell you you cannot take them at the same time. They really should be separated by 2 or 3 hours, your antibiotic and a probiotic. Okay, so there we go with that. Okay, what about that product recall? And now they have discontinued this product indefinitely. Well, I'm talking about Excedrin. So if we look at, it used to be called Excedrin Migraine, and then it's like Excedrin Plus, and it has a combination of aspirin and caffeine and what's in Tylenol. So they put these 3 things together, and the reason why they said it's no longer on the shelves is because they did not put the correct amount of each of these ingredients together. So they probably put a little bit too much. And what I have been hearing from people who take it is that they feel like they've been bruising very easily, probably thinning their blood too much. So this is at least the second time that I know that they have taken their product off the market indefinitely. You will not find it in local drugstores. So I don't know if they were told to take it off. But that article is also on my Facebook business page as well. So if you see Excedrin, especially the extra strength that has those 3 ingredients, I would highly recommend not taking it at this time. Let's get to the root cause of why you're having those migraines, or you have that pain and that inflammation in your body. Now we go to Santa Barbara, California, where there's this emerald triangle. Nothing emerald about it these days. They are growing weed, but the problem with that is they are diverting the water to the weed crops, and everything else is getting dried out, and now the salmon and the trout are dying. So something's going on there, because they said it hasn't been regulated, and now supposedly regulators are coming in. Sometimes that's good, sometimes that's not. But in this case, it sounds like they need it. Let's talk about Alzheimer's and the latest research here, because I do see individuals with dementia and Alzheimer's in my practice, and we run a battery of functional medicine testing for this, because we really want to see if there's inflammation in the body. We want to see how their body is functioning. In particular, I love looking at the neurotransmitters, the norepinephrine, epinephrine, dopamine, serotonin, excitotoxins, to see how their brain is firing or not firing, and as well as other tests that will help pinpoint if there's too many toxins and if they can't detoxify. Latest research linked an issue with norepinephrine, one of these neurotransmitters that you can test in a functional medicine, non-invasive, first morning urine test, to Alzheimer's. Finally, they're catching up. I want to talk to you about this immune discovery may treat all types of cancer. So I'm glad on one hand that this latest research came out, but on the other hand, I'm not surprised, because whenever we test someone who has had cancer in the past or is going through cancer treatments, they do not have strong immune systems. In particular, they have no vitamin C, and therefore they usually don't have N-acetylcysteine, and it does not create glutathione. So without vitamin C, N-acetylcysteine, and glutathione, the person is vulnerable to cancer. Worse yet, when they go through chemo and radiation, if the oncologist doesn't understand how this all works or look at this type of research, then they don't let anyone use vitamin C and acetylcysteine or glutathione. It could be a liability thing. It could be that they just don't know. This is why those cancer care centers that actually look at supplementation, natural eating, as well as their own treatment are getting very popular. I just want to read this because this is actually on cancer.gov, the website. And it talks about vitamin C being an essential nutrient that has redox functions, a cofactor for several enzymes, and it's important, right? In the mid-20th century, a study showed that it can be helpful as a potential cancer therapy. So my question is, why didn't they look further? Did someone drop the ball, or did we just not go another step? These studies go on to explain vitamin C has positive effects on the general T cell development. That's really important when we're looking at the latest research for immune discovery that may treat all types of cancers. And they show further studies that vitamin C actually helped reduce the cancer-related toxicity of the treatment. So I would encourage you, if you know anyone going through this, to go do the research and see if your team, your medical team, would be open to learning more about this. And then if not, what about when we come off the therapy, the chemo and the radiation, getting with the oncology team to see if they would, all work together, because everybody may learn something if you all partner together for the benefit of the quality of the life of the person going through this illness. Now I want to end with some statistics. So the highest rate of breast cancer in the United States is in California, wine country area. Why? Well, perhaps 50,000 pounds of glyphosate are sprayed every year in Napa. 1.5 million pounds of glyphosate were used on grapes in the United States in 2015. I could only imagine that it has increased. Children in South Florida, where 3.5 million pounds of glyphosate were sprayed between 2000 and 2012 on citrus, that's what we know Florida for, and their sugar crops, have a 36% increased risk of getting cancer. It was declared a probable carcinogenic to humans and definitely carcinogenic to animals. And when did they make this declaration? In 2015. Okay, and then this is no coincidence. 1 out of 4 Americans, so that's 80 to 100 million, have non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, and glyphosate has been shown to be elevated and cause liver disease. We test for this, and it's alarming in children all the way to the elderly. So we are what we eat, we are what we absorb, and it's important to know how our food is grown, what's being put on the dirt, what's in the water, and how we are living our life. We don't live in a bubble, and I sure don't want anyone to live in a bubble, but we can do things like take probiotics and take vitamin C, quality vitamin C, because your supplements also could have glyphosate in it. So you really want to take quality supplementation to help your body detoxify. Here's to another fact-filled Friday. I hope you join me in the Total Wellness Empowerment private Facebook group, where I will be letting everyone know the wines and the beers that were tested highest in glyphosate. Until next Fact-Filled Friday, remember, your health is worth it because you are worth it. Bye now.